Kana have napi relatives, Membiwa, Tahushka Opi Miha. And welcome back to the channel, relatives. Just wanted to say real quick again, this is my channel, Obi Miha, Saponi-Catawba Nation. Again, come to the channel. If you are taking the time to watch the videos, please subscribe and also like the videos. And much appreciation to you, relatives. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get into the video. All right, so today we are back on the Delaware, Maryland side of things with the family histories. And as you can see, today we're going to be doing the Cambridge family. All right, and we actually have a picture of two gentlemen here, and I will read the caption underneath. It says, Edwin R. Cambridge, 1842-1926, and his son of John Hunt Cambridge, and then great-grandson of William Cambridge Hunt, 1713 to 1786. So that's these two gentlemen here. All right, so let's get into it. We may do about 4 families on this if we have time. Okay, so we got Ann Hunt, born, say, 1694, was a servant of Mr. Robert Nairn, merchant of Coventry Parish, on June 2nd, 1713, when she admitted in Somerset County Court that she had a child by a Negro. The court ordered that she receive 30 lashes and that her master give security to return her to court to be sold for 7 years at the completion of her indenture. Her master, Robert Nairn, purchased her unnamed son for 31 years. And it says Anne was apparently the mother of. It says William Cambridge, born about 1713. And then it goes on to say William Cambridge Hunt, born about 1713, was called William Cambridge when he was taxable in the Pocomoke 100 Somerset County household of Robert Nairn in 1727 and 1728, called Will, and taxable in James Nairn's Pocomoke household from 1730 to 1743. Called William Cambridge in 1730 and 1743, called either Will or Cambridge in the intervening years. He was called William Hunt Cambridge when he was granted a patent of 50 acres in Worcester County called William's Choice in 1752, which he expanded to 128 acres in 1754, called William Cambridge Stewart. He was called William Cambridge a mulatto in 1783 when he was taxable in Aquango 100, Worcester County, on 128 acres, called William's Choice enlarged. He called himself William Cambridge Hunt, making his mark in his March 11, 1784 Worcester County will, approved January 5, 1787, by which he left his plantation to his wife Esther during her widowhood, and then to son Levin, or to son George if Levin died before attaining the age of 21. He also left his daughter Leah a feather bed, furniture, and a place and materials to build a house, and divided some of his possessions among all my children. His widow Esther sold and released William's Choice for 30 pounds on March 9th, 1798, and it says their children were Leah, born, say, 1763. We got Levin, born, say, 1765, called himself a free mulatto on March 25th, 1794, when he and George Cambridge gave bond of 30 pounds to support the illegitimate child Peggy, who he had by Mary Blake in Worcester County in November 1790. He called himself Levin Cambridge, alias Hunt, on April 24th, 1795, when he sold, signing the 128 acres of land he received by his father's will to Charles Godfrey for about 11 pounds, and then purchased the land from Godfrey for the same price on December 25th the same year. He mortgaged the property to James Bowdoin Robbins on November 4th, 1796 for 50 pounds, and then completed the sale to Samuel Handy Sr. on April 6, 1798. All right, let's keep it moving. And then there was George, born, say, 1767, head of a Bracken County, Kentucky household of 3, free-colored in 1830, in the same county as William Cambridge, born before 1776, who was head of household of 4, free-colored. Next, we got Charles, Negro, taxable in Little Creek Hundred, Cann County in 1789, and Miss Pillion Hundred in 1797, and head of a Miss Pillion Hundred household of 4 other free in 1800. He died before May 6, 1806, when his widow Mary gave up her right to administer his estate. The estate was valued at $201. Next, we have Isaac, head of a Newcastle County, Delaware household of 5 other free in 1810. Then we have William, died about 1806, when the inventory of his estate was recorded in Kent County, Delaware. All right, relatives, so that was the Cambridge family. Again, not a super long family history, but we did get some good information on county, dates of birth, and parents and kids' names. So if the Cambridge surname does pull up in your ancestry, this can give you some good information to start with. All right. All right, relatives. So the next family we have is the Campbell family. So let's dig in. Sarah Campbell, born, say, 1712, was a servant of Thomas Davis on August 1st, 1731, when she bore a mulatto by a Negro in Queen Anne's County. The court ordered her sold for 7 years to William Price and sold her son James to Price until age 31 for 732 pounds of tobacco. She was the ancestor of James, born August 1st, 1731, perhaps the James Campbell who was head of a West Sassafras, Cecil County household of 1 other free in 1790. Then we got William, head of a West Sassafras, Cecil County household of 1 other free in 1790. Then we got Henry, head of a Newcastle County household of 8 other free in 1800, and 3 other free in Kent County, Delaware in 1810. All right, relatives, so that was the Campbell family. Again, not very long on the family history, but if this is coming up in your ancestry, you got a couple good little nuggets in there, all right? So let's keep it moving. Next, we have the Cann family. James Cann, born, say, 1715, was called a free mulatto man on November 28th, 1738, when mulatto Nan, the servant of Thomas Gant Jr., testified in Prince George County court that he was the father of her 8-month-old child named Nassie. He was probably the ancestor of Cross, head of an Anne Arundel County household of 3 other free in 1790, and then William, head of an Anne Arundel County household of 2 other free in 1800. All right, relatives, again, short family history. Not a whole lot to go on, but if that surname's coming up in your ancestry, you can grab a few things out of this. All right. And I think this will be our last one for today. We have the Cannon family. So Margaret Cannon, born, say, 1725, was the indentured servant of Isaac Smoot on August 10, 1743, when she was convicted by the Charles County Court of having a child by a Negro. The court bound her 5-month-old daughter, Nellie, as an apprentice and ordered that she serve her master an additional 7 years. She was the ancestor of Eleanor, born about March 1743, an 8-year-old mulatto girl, bound until the age of 31. When she was listed in the inventory of the Charles County estate of Isaac Smoot on October 14, 1751. And then we got Robert, born about 1748, a 3-year-old mulatto boy bound until the age of 31, when he was listed in the inventory of the Charles County estate of Isaac Smoot on October 14, 1751. And then we got Patrick, head of an Elk Neck, Cecil County household of one other free in 1790. Our relatives, that was the Cannon family. Again, short family history. If the Cannon surname is coming up in your genealogy, we did get parents' name, kids' names, dates of birth, and the county they lived in. All right, relatives, so let me stop screen sharing real quick here. Again, we knocked out about 4 families there, so like I said, nothing super long. As always, I appreciate everyone taking time out to watch the videos. One love to everybody. Thanks for the support, and I'll see everyone next time. Later.